Hi, today we're going to talk about the top tips for using fonts and editing fonts and adding your own fonts in Canva. So the first thing that we do with Canva is we use it for inspiration to try and find the style and the types of fonts that we actually like. So all I'm going to do here is type in social media posts up at the top and then just press your enter key. Now, as you can see, there's lots of different designs, and that happens whenever you search for anything in Canva. But all we're interested in is the font style and the coloring and the font weights that are actually used in these designs. So generally a bold heading and standard fonts would be quite common with a lot of social media posts, and the purpose of this is really for impact as well as readability. So the second that you go into handwriting style fonts and so on, it becomes harder to read. So that's why you'll find a lot of fonts where there is a combination between a bold heading and a standard font like this. So the one that we're going to look for, we're just looking down here just to find one that we're going to use in this example. And Canva is used to promote a lot of events and contact details, such as this one here. So we're going to go for this one and click once on it, and then click once on customize this template. And as with any designs in Canva, start off by actually giving it a name. So I'm just going to double click up here. And give it a font name. And as with anything in Canva, after you've made a change, just click off the canvas just to finish off that actual change. And this is a good combination of a standard font where we have a bold heading and a normal sized heading. And then you've got a range of colors on this as well. So you've got the white over this color, and that actually is not as easy to read. So you might want to change your background color, or we'll be covering the shadows and outline effects of fonts in a bit. So the first thing we're going to do here is, whenever it comes to choosing a font, you don't want to have too many fonts in the one design. So usually it's 2 to 3 fonts per design, because otherwise it's just confusing the message and it doesn't look so good. But with this, what we're going to start off with doing is we're going to click once in the background, and we're just going to change that color to something else. And because that's a darker font color, we've lost our 2 headings here because they were in a similar color. So if I click once in this, the first thing we're going to do is change your text color up here at the top. And we're going to click once on white. And exactly the same thing again. Click once on where that actual text was and change that to white as well. Now, with this one, what we're going to do is click once in the first one, hold down your Shift key, which is above the Control at the bottom left-hand corner, and we're going to select the other boxes of fonts. And we're going to do changes to all 3 of them at the same time by clicking once on the text color and click once on white. Those changes apply to anything that is actually on this. I can get rid of this element, for example, by clicking once on it and just hitting the delete key or the backspace key, or the trash can, which you'll see here. But we're concentrating on fonts. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the range of fonts that you have on Canva. Click once on one of the blocks of text and then click once on your actual font selection tool up here, and you will find that Canva has a wide range of fonts that you can choose from. When it comes to the difference between the Pro version of Canva and the free one, the free one will do most of what you will ever need it to do, but anything that has a little crown on it, like you can see here, and sometimes it actually has a pound sign or some kind of euro sign as well with certain people, and you can choose from any of these fonts that you see here. On the free version, you're limited to the ones that do not have a crown beside it, but there is still more choice than you will ever need. For example, we're just going to go for Gotham, and if you click on the little arrow, you'll see the different font weights that are available with that font. So there is a light, regular, bold and black. And with Helvetica now, that's a Pro version of a font, but it still has the same weights on it. So I'm going to change this font to Gotham Bold just to see what it looks like. And as you can see, it's quite big and it's gone on to 2 lines. Then I'm just going to hold down on my font size tool, or you can click, hold and drag the text to your actual liking of the size that you want. However, because I've changed that, then what I would do is I would change this one as well. So by clicking once on it, I'm just going to go for a regular, and again I'm just holding this down and clicking off the canvas to actually see what it looks like. You can click, hold and drag and bring that closer to it, because when you change the font style, the sizing and the gaps and so on will change. Now let's say you wanted to have an image on this. I'm just going to look for an office. So on the left hand side in elements, I'm going to type in office. And I'm going to go for this, which is quite a bright photo. And so is this one. So we'll go for this. What I would do then is click, hold, drag, and wait until it fills in that area, and then let go. And as you can see, the background now has disappeared of that color. And if I right click on this and go to layer, I'm going to send that backward, and I'm going to do that a few times so I get the rest of the design that was there before. Just right click, layer, send backward, and repeat that until you get your design elements that you want back again. Okay, I have everything now of that original design back. So a lighter photo, as you can see, some of the text doesn't stand out that well. So what I'm going to do is go into elements and go into shapes and click once. And then I'm going to click once in color and choose black. And I'm going to click once on transparency and change that down to 40%, and you can change this afterwards anyway. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that over, my entire canvas. And exactly the same thing again, right click, layer, and send backward. And I'm going to repeat that a few times as well, just like I did before. So we're going to fast forward through this bit of the video and speed it up so you don't have to watch so much of this. Now what we've done is we've added a transparent coloured square beside that. So we went over to elements and in here type in square. If it doesn't show up, click once on that and change your colour and transparency from there. Now the other thing we can do here is we could click once on the actual text and click once on effects and play around with some of the different effects to get the desired one that you actually think looks the best. Shadow is a very good one for white writing on top of a photo. And whenever you click once in shadow, set your shadow color. So in this case, I'm going to set it to black. And I'm going to make that transparency 100. And as you can see, if I click off the canvas, you'll see that this actually has like a 3D effect to it now. I can click once on this text, and I would recommend that you keep the consistency there. But there's nothing wrong with you trying out hollow or an outline. And again, you've got your actual color options here. So I'm going to go for black. And again, click off the canvas just so you can see those different effects that apply. So if I click once in this text, I can change the font style using this option. I can change the font size up or down. I can choose the font color. And if you click once in this rainbow, you can put in a hex code. So a lot of branding packs and guidelines with different providers will come with hex codes for your colors. You could go and change it to bold. You could turn the italics off or on. Underline is not used as much now, so we wouldn't really recommend it. When it comes to font tips for Canva, this is an option to choose or change your text from, for example, lowercase to uppercase, so everything becomes capitals. And it applies if you're copying and pasting text that is in capitals. You can change that and bring it into a mixture of uppercase and lowercase. The other thing that's great about Canva is the spacing. And if you click once in spacing, you've got letter spacing. Not so popular with me, but that's just personal preference. And also line spacing, which is great. So if you drag that across, you're putting more space in between each line, but you can also decrease it. So if you are cramming a wee bit more text in your graphic, not that I would recommend it, but you can also decrease your line spacing as well. I'm just going to leave it at that. Hopefully these tips have helped. Along with this video, I've included a couple of links. My affiliate link for Canva, as well as a guide to the psychology behind fonts. In a future video, we will be going through brand kits and uploading your own custom fonts to Canva. Any questions, please put a comment below.